Stop it, she told herself as she reached for the door. Her brain had a bizarre ability to remember every date and every detail of what happened each day from around the time of her 2nd birthday. It had served her well when she was a scholar, but there were things she wished she could forget. But she couldn't. Opening the door, Naomi was surprised to see an English man and a woman with an astounding shade of bright red hair on her porch, which needed painting. That chore was far down her to-do list while she was trying to oversee the house and the yard and the vegetable garden by herself. Since Marlin's death, she'd sold the dairy herd and most of the equipment, but hadn't parted with the mules and the buggy horse. She wasn't sure how much longer she could afford to feed the animals and her family. Waldo, the buggy horse, had joined the household only a month before the twins were born, but the mules, Fred and Ginger, had been with them for almost the whole time she'd been married to Marlin. 9 years, 11 months, 3 weeks, 4 days ago, her mind whispered. She didn't want to think about her upcoming wedding anniversary, the annual reminder of how stupid she'd been to believe Marlin's lies and accusations. She realized the Englishers were staring at her. No wonder. She was so lost in thought they must think she'd forgotten her manners. "Can I help you?" she asked, guessing they needed directions because they'd taken a wrong turn in the late May twilight. Neither the man nor the woman seemed to hear her. She realized they weren't looking at her. They stared beyond her at the living room, where her sons were scrambling over the furniture like a pair of chipmunks. Jared, the more daring, was trying to climb the couch. When she asked the question again, the man's eyes snapped back to her. They were as cold as a snake's. He looked down a long nose at her. He and the woman were much taller than her scant 5 feet. "Are you Naomi Ropp?" he asked in a raspy voice that suggested he must be a smoker. The odor coming off his light blue golf shirt and jeans confirmed it. She wanted to put her hand over her mouth and nose. The remnants of cigarette smoke made her chest tighten and caused paroxysms of coughs if she breathed them too long. However, she was so shocked that the Englisher knew her name. She choked out, "Yeah, I'm Naomi. Can I help you?" "I'm Cole Yeatman. This here is my sister, Leslie." "Are you lost?" Naomi glanced over her shoulder and discovered Jared had fallen into the couch's cushions, taking the quilt that covered it with him. Both little boys rolled about, convulsed with laughter, so she knew he hadn't been hurt. "No, I own this dump." Her head jerked toward the Englishers. "Own what?" "This place." He hooked a thumb at the house and then pointed toward the barns. "It's mine." "You're mistaken. This farm belongs to us." She gulped. "It belongs to me. I've owned it with my late husband for over 10 years. She silenced her mind as it started its recital of the exact date she and Marlin had signed the papers before their wedding. "You've got the wrong house." He shook his head. "What are you trying to pull, lady? Don't you think I know my own property?" Though she wanted to fire the same question at him, she said, "As I told you, this farm had belonged to me and my late husband for a long time." "Marlin Ropp, right?" asked the woman, drawing Naomi's attention. Naomi hadn't forgotten the woman was there. She didn't forget anything, no matter how hard she tried. Most especially, she couldn't forget mistakes, hers or her husband's. She'd tried with Marlin's infidelities. He hadn't been her first mistake. Samuel King had been. He'd enticed her to kiss him more than 11 years ago and then spread nasty rumors about her. Horrified how people had looked askance at her, she'd accepted Marlin's proposal after he'd said he didn't put much stock in rumors. Only later did she realize that was because he didn't want her to believe the ones about him. Growing uneasy that these strangers seemed to know too much about her, and she'd never met them, she said, "Like I said, you've got the wrong house." She reached to close the door, but the man slapped his hand against it to hold it open. "No, we've got the right house. Playing stupid won't get you anywhere."